What is going on, YouTube? Welcome to the RHPDpodcast.
Welcome.
What are we at? 35 days until Daytona 500?
I think that's the count.
Yep. Speaking of Daytona, they officially announced that it is sold out for the 10th consecutive season.
Yes, sir.
Pretty cool. But that's not what we're here to talk about today, because that's pretty obvious that was going to happen. We got all kinds of fancy NASCAR rules updates, silly season
We
news.
got a lot of NASCAR news.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff going on tonight, so we're not even gonna try and hold you up or anything. We're just gonna go ahead and jump straight into it.
Let's do it. Welcome in, guys, to the Raise Hail Praise Dale podcast. We're living the dream, currently at 106 subs. So if you want to be our magical 107, hit that subscribe button. If you want to know when we post, because we post more than just on Mondays, go ahead and hit that bell icon. You can also follow us on all of our other various medias. You can see them up in this corner.
Yep.
So yeah, as Voodoo was saying, we have a lot of news to cover today. So I think it's best just to jump right into it. Starting with unfortunately, we don't have a post-race breakdown.
And
the Chili Bowl just started.
Chili Bowl, yeah, just started tonight, going through the week.
So. Yeah, they did practice yesterday and then starting tonight. So we got a few drivers up for that, but we won't have a post-race breakdown until next week.
We get there.
Which leaves us to go to Trackside Trends.
All right. So starting that off, ARCA Menard Series had their 2-day preseason practice at Daytona. There were 77 drivers. I don't know if you know him, but Cletus McFarland was practicing. Pretty cool to see him. ARCA car.
Yes,
I think Amber Balkane. I think after day 2, she had the fastest practice.
I think that's what I've seen as well. So,
yeah, pretty cool. So they're gearing up for the ARCA Daytona race. A lot of cars there.
Yes, sir. It's gonna be fun.
One of Mr. Helio Castroneves was there too.
I did see that as well.
Our pizza man Brayton Laster was not there though.
No, unfortunately. But moving on a little bit, the Truck Series playoff race at Talladega on October 17th has a new start time of 4 p.m. Eastern time instead of 3:30, and the coverage will be on FS1. So, little update on that. I think it's just the time, right? It's always been on FS1.
Yeah, it's been on FS1 and it was the same date. They just pushed it back 30 minutes.
Okay.
No big change there, but
for some reason, I wanted to say it originally was going to be on NBC, but then I was like, no, that doesn't sound right.
Nah, it's Truck Series.
Yes, sir.
But good news for the Cup drivers is that they'll be able to get a little bit of practice laps in at Mexico City in an Xfinity car if they want to. NASCAR confirmed that they're going to allow that to happen.
I mean, that's a good news for Chevy and Ford. Because Toyotas, they run a completely different car in the Xfinity. They run the Supras instead of the Camrys.
Yeah. I don't know how much of a difference it really is, though, as far as body style.
I don't know, because you got to think about like the aerodynamics and stuff. Because the Supra is built to be fast, a Camry is just a Camry.
Yeah, I might talk my wife into getting me a Camry for my car when we finally get me one in about 7 years.
Oh yeah, are you gonna wrap it like Jimmy?
Hey, don't give me any ideas. Don't give me any ideas.
I'm not saying anything, but I have thought about going and getting like an O2 Monte Carlo, just to throw a big 48 lows on the side of it. But anyway, tire tests will return for 2025 at the following tracks. They'll be at Phoenix, Charlotte, Michigan, Iowa, Gateway, and New Hampshire. No organizational tire test except for Xfinity and trucks, which they test at Rockingham later this month.
Too bad you don't like that track, huh?
Right. I wish Cup would go back to Rockingham.
I mean, hey, they're slowly starting to bring back some older tracks, so maybe.
I will gladly I will watch the Xfinity and the trucks race Rockingham. I love Rockingham.
Well, there's going to be no Cup that weekend, so.
Yeah, I know. Take the goods with the bads. They're racing at Rockingham. The bads is there's no Cup that weekend.
Yeah. Speaking of bad news, McDonald's has pulled their sponsorship from the Chicago street race. So no more Big Macs and chicken sandwiches to hand out to people. Sidewalk and stuff.
Who knows? They might have a biggie bags. Didn't they do that the first year? It was biggie bags, wasn't it?
I know Wendy's did it, but I think that was more of Trackhouse pushing that. I think that was.
Oh, you think so?
Partner. Oh, yeah.
Well, it looks like Cup teams will have more space available to them on the car-based paint scheme guidelines that were released.
Got them there. So all the stuff in green is what the teams can put whatever the heck they want to, as long as it gets approved by NASCAR, obviously.
So my question is, with like the number and stuff, I get the number has to be visible, but how do cars with like swooshes and stuff behind the number get away with it?
I think as long as the number is like sticks plain out. Yeah.
Got you.
Yeah, as long as they're actually able to see the number and it doesn't blend in with whatever design's behind it.
I got you.
That's pretty cool there. And now, fun stuff.
Oh my lord.
Yeah, we got a lot of rule changes here. So,
yeah,
starting off first, we'll go with some good news. When it's wet and rainy and slick, Jackman can be over the wall, ready to jack you up before the rest of your guys can jump out and get out there. Less likely to slip that way, I would think. That heavy old jack.
So I'm gonna make a terrible joke, so just be forewarned. If
as long as it's family friendly.
It is family friendly. If the team is sponsored by Mountain Dew and the jack has a Mountain Dew sticker on it, would you be all jacked up on Mountain Dew? You're welcome. I'm sorry. At least it's family friendly. Yeah, you're welcome. I have 2 children. I am qualified to make dad jokes.
What a noob.
Oh, I'm so sorry. But away from the dad jokes, appeals are getting changed. Teams get 2 days to file an appeal of penalties instead of 3, so they're losing a day on that one.
Tighter window. But speaking of penalties, the fines have also been, some of the fines have been changed. So technical infractions like loose lug nuts and wheels falling off and crap like that normally had been assessed to the crew chief. Well, now generally they'll be assessed to the team owners and the organization. So
I mean, that on that note, I could see where that's because like it's not the crew chief's fault that the tire guy didn't get the lug nut all the way in.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
I could still see it kind of sprinkling down to affect the people that were on the pit crew that day, but.
I mean, if anything, let's be honest, it should affect the wheel guy instead of anybody else because he didn't do his job.
Yeah.
Just my opinions. No more DVP.
You skip over suspensions.
Okay. Here, I'll do suspensions. You can do DVP. Technical violations can be deferred until the next race. So instead of an immediate suspension, I mean, and that's not including behavioral suspensions.
Yeah, so like the whole getting punched down on pit road after a clash would still be an immediate suspension.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know how I feel about that. Like, if you got a good race coming up, I guess you can defer it, keep your people for the good race, and then use them for the crappy one. Or maybe they defer it and appeal it at the same time. So, like, if they get it overturned, then they don't have to serve a penalty.
I don't know on that one.
But after his little Chris Bell movement, no more DVP clock. Not exactly true. There's still going to be a DVP clock at 7 minutes. But if they do not meet the repairs in that 7-minute window on pit road, then they have to go to the garage to finish the repair. So they're not getting kicked out of the race. They just got to go back to the garage. When you're in the garage, there is no clock.
So it's basically like old school, where if they, terrible analogy, but we'll just go with it. They blow an engine in the first 2 laps, right? If they can get the engine changed and running and everything up to NASCAR specs, it can be out by lap 200.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting.
Yeah.
But a little flip side to that, they're changing the whole flat tire getting towed thing. So if a car cannot drive back on its own, that's including just for flat tires, going straight to the garage. Like getting towed straight to the garage, no exceptions.
That's crazy.
That I don't exactly agree with.
If it's just like you've got 2 flats on one side, they should take you to the pit.
I don't care if it's all 4 flat; they should still take you to the pit.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying if it's not a mechanical issue, they shouldn't.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, I get it. I get if your wheel's supposed to look like this, and then like when they tow you, it's kicked out like that. You know what I mean? I get that, but
yeah,
I don't agree with that one. But that's why we're sitting here on the computer and not writing rules for NASCAR.
Right.
Playoff waivers. If a driver needs a waiver for a non-medical reason, such as like Larson did with the Coke 600, they lose all playoff points for the entire season. That means the points they have already earned that season or in the future, it'll be zeroed. So the max and a max of 2,000 points will start. So basically, Larson was in the contention forever in the playoffs. So that would not have happened.
Yeah,
he probably would have been eliminated first rounds,
unless he would have won one. But something to note here: if you get suspended for a race, they're including that under this playoff waiver deal. If you get suspended, your playoff points gone, homie. So maybe don't right hook that guy on the track.
Maybe it'll make them think twice about swinging in the pits.
Or I'm assuming that swinging and right hooking somebody into the wall on the track.
I'm assuming that's why they're doing that.
I would think so, yeah.
I don't know though. I kind of like the fights, but I think that's part of NASCAR's history.
Right.
Let's be honest.
I don't think they're going anywhere.
Let's break down some history. 1979, the first green flag to checkered flag race gets televised. What happens there? You got 3 dudes brawling in the infield, and that's what makes everybody want to watch.
Well, nobody told them it wasn't a hockey game. So.
I'm getting kind of joke too. I'm getting kind of tired of the soft NASCAR where it's like, don't hit anybody. That's unsportsmanlike. Like, knock that sucker out. Take your point penalty and go on.
Yeah, well, we shall see how that works out this season. Jumping forward to manufacturer updates, since we talking about stuff that happened last season. You remember when was that Chastain and Dillon? I want to say got that roadblock behind William Byron.
Wallace, Chastain, and Wallace.
Chastain and Wallace. Okay, I knew it was two.
Yeah, because they blocked Bell from passing Byron, so he would get out in the playoffs in the Final Four. Yeah,
So
I remember.
yeah, I don't know why. Not like any of your favorite drivers were involved.
Right.
So NASCAR has listened to that, and they had changed the verbiage in the rule. So used to say takes action with the intent to artificially alter the finishing positions of a race. Now changed to attempts to manipulate the outcome. So even if it doesn't affect placement, they still could get penalized for it. Now, what the manufacturers have to look forward to if they do violate this, they could lose manufacturers' points and or loss of wind tunnel hours to get their data and all that stuff, and or RFCD, blah, 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 RCFD runs, and or can get their members ejected and or suspended. So manufacturers going to be held accountable now.
Yeah. I mean, I dig it. I support it because it was kind of bull the way that, Chevy worked its way in there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I mean, it's racing. What are you going to do? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So. But the open exemption provisional. A well-known driver that is a significant contributor from another series can now automatically make a race if a team requests it and NASCAR approves it for the race. NASCAR drivers are not eligible. So a 41st starting position may be added if a team utilizes an OEP. Only one will be approved per race, i.e. the Daytona 500.
Yeah.
Everybody already knows this. There's going to be 41 cars.
Not necessarily.
I'm pretty sure. What do you mean?
Helio Castroneves is the one that put it in. Got it approved for one.
I couldn't remember.
The only way that they would have to use their OEP is if they didn't make it in on time and or race in. So if he races in or makes it in on time, then it's still only going to be 40 cars and we got somebody else getting out. But if he doesn't race in or make the time in, then his OEP would go into effect and he'd be the 41st car.
I got you.
Kind of dumb, because that means only 3 drivers might make it in instead of 4.
Yeah, which, I mean, it is what it is, but at the same time,
yeah,
I think it's stupid
if
how
it's
they
Jimmy
automatically
that gets eliminated, I'm going to be pissed.
Oh, yeah, you and me both. Which I don't know. I don't, out of the group that's going in there, I don't really see Jimmy being eliminated because he's got more time in this car than most of them. Then, I mean, let's be honest, the later races in the season, he was doing okay.
Yeah.
So,
the other thing we have to look forward to is we got a lot more open teams that are here for the Daytona 500. I think we got like some ridiculous amount of like 5 or 6 open cars going for it. Maybe we'll see more than just 40 cars showing up to a bunch of races.
Maybe.
I doubt it, but we'll see.
Let's go back to 46 cars, homie. That's where I want to go.
I'd be fine with 43.
I'd be okay with 43. I'd take 43.
Or I'd be fine with however many show up. Just put them on a dang track. So what if you got 60 cars on track?
I got a great idea. I got a great idea. For the 500 this year, we'll just go back to Gen 4. Just for the 500.
Why don't you just put them on there in freaking sofa cars? 500 miles on a sofa car.
Listen, I'd even be okay if they like took it to the car of tomorrow.
I wasn't too big of a fan of the car tomorrow, but
I wasn't on track, but they look nice in diecast.
True.
They're some of my favorite diecast.
Yeah.
Gen 4 was my favorite generation.
I can see why. I don't think anybody's favorite generation is the new one.
No. The new one sucks. If you put that against the Gen 4 would smoke it.
Well, speaking of stuff that sucks, all these rule changes come out, and guess what? Didn't change. The playoffs.
NASCAR says, "Oh, we listen to our fans, except for what they scream the loudest."
Yeah. So while a driver could miss for getting suspended or skipping the race for non-medical reasons, the playoffs still stay the same. But
That's crazy to me.
other good news, the judge has denied NASCAR's request to dismiss the charter update case, as well as the teams posting bond in case they lose the trial.
Sounds like NASCAR has got a judge that's like, "No, I'm not on your payroll. You can't push me around like that. I know what you're doing. This is what's gonna happen."
That's what it definitely sounds like, doesn't it?
It does. And Denny's got there with his lovely grin, just sitting there like,
Well, speaking of Denny, blah, 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 I didn't put it on here.
Demi Hamlin.
Yeah, Cucumber Cowboy. Not only has he lost FedEx this season, but it seems to be rumored that Mavis Tire is.
And not a lot of people want to work with him, I guess.
Well, when you whine a bunch, I guess comes down on you eventually.
I mean, when you've been racing for what, 18, 19, 20 years? He's been racing for a long time.
Yeah.
He has yet to win the championship.
Well, I don't think he's one, but that's a conversation for another day.
All right, so you ready to move on to team changes? Well, the number one loser, or what was that old TV show called? The Biggest Loser. That's what it was. The Biggest Loser of NASCAR. Oh, no, I'm reading the wrong one. Never mind. I'm sorry. I seen Corey, and I was thinking Corey LaJoy, not Corey Day.
Yeah,
sorry.
Slightly different person.
Slightly different. Corey Day, not LaJoy, but Corey Day is set to run nearly 30 pavement events between Hendrick Motorsports and affiliate teams. Sponsorship from Hendrick Cars will be part of that appearance, and they will include Xfinity, Trucks, Arcas, and Trans Am.
Lots of stuff coming their way.
Yes, sir.
Pretty cool for Corey Day that he'll
not
necessarily officially be full time, but I would probably consider that full time.
Yeah.
30 races. Pretty doggone close.
Well, shoot, isn't Cup like 36 races or something like that?
It is. Not including All-Star race and the Clash.
So, yeah, almost full time.
Yep. So, trucks. Yeah. Ryume Brothers have acquired the number 2 truck this season. That makes them with 3 full-time trucks, the 2, the 22, and the 33.
Yes, sir.
Obviously, part of that being acquired the number 2, that means Rev Racing will no longer be competing in 2025.
Xfinity, Haas factory team, formerly Stuart Haas, is set for Jonathan Toney to remain as the crew chief for the 00. And Jason, Trinchier, or
good enough for me.
Yeah, Trinchier, or however you say his name. Sorry, Jason, if you're watching. Formerly Spire / colleague, will crew chief for the number 41. So,
yep.
Looking forward to seeing him on there.
Junior Motorsports has announced their Cup, or not Cup Series, Xfinity Series crew chief lineup.
The day that Junior Motorsports hits Cup is the day you see me wear a Dale Earnhardt everything on this podcast. Like, I wasn't a Junior fan until like recently, where I've like watched what he does with his teams and stuff. I'm just saying.
Well, he wasn't exactly an elite driver.
No, but I mean, as far as a business model, bro has it locked.
Yeah.
I mean, do you
But
have your
anyways,
Dale call? 'Cause I have mine.
and Junior Motorsports crew chief lineup for the Xfinity Series in 2025.
Sure. In the number one, you've got Carson. Oh no,
Waffle.
Gvapel. I don't know how to say his name, dude. His crew chief will be Andrew Overstreet. I can say that one.
Well, Justin Allgaier in number 7's got Jim Pullman as his crew chief.
Yes, sir. And Mr. Sammy Smith in the number 8. That iconic number 8. And I will never stop saying the iconic number 8. His crew chief will be Philip Bell.
Number 9 is going to be an all-star mock-up of drivers. So not a specific person, but every person that does get in the car will be crew chiefed by Corey Shea.
Sir, and then the 88 of Connor Zilich will be crew chiefed by Marty Lindy. It's a fun name to say.
Alright, so jump to the Cup Series. We knew this was coming, kind of how they were sliding it in. But JGR has decided to. That's not the right one. But we'll talk about this too. Haas Factory Team. They got their new logo up finally. Kind of mimics everything else. But
Yes, sir.
going to JGR, going with their Xfinity block logo as their main logo for the Cup Series on their cars. Now they still will use the original JGR logo.
Didn't they also use this like in the early 2000s for Cup?
It wouldn't surprise me. I don't remember off the top
Pretty
of my
sure
head.
I've seen some like Tony cars or even maybe a Logano car. Like I can see it like in my head.
Well, this isn't a new logo. It's just they're bringing it back.
Yeah.
So it could very well be that one that you're talking about.
Very possible. Moving on to something really cool, making some NASCAR history. Trackhouse will be the first organization in NASCAR history to have drivers from 4 different countries in one race.
Yeah, because Helio Castroneves will be in one way or another. So
yeah, and then you've got
SVG,
of course you got Suarez and SVG and
Chastain.
Yeah. So pretty cool.
So Haas Factory Team, I know we just looked at their logo, but Nick Sandler, formerly of RFK, is now the competition director for Haas.
As far as I know, no relation to Adam Sandler. Snuck another dad joke in there. I'm sorry. Anyway,
We don't forgive you.
That's okay. You don't have to. I give them out for free. Let's look at the open entries for Daytona, because we've got a pretty good handful of them for just, what is it, 4 open spots?
Yeah.
So the number 15 is to be announced. We don't know who's going to be in that one yet, but it's been announced that the 15 will be there. The 44 will be piloted by J.J. Yaley of NY Motorsports. The 50,
NY Racing, sir.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Who's putting the 50 in?
That's Team Amerivet.
Okay.
Formerly the Money Team.
Okay. So they have not announced their driver yet. So this list could possibly go down by 1, but anywho, who knows?
It actually is going down by 1.
Yeah, with the Helio Castroneves.
Well, no.
That's what I was talking about. But the 62 will be piloted by Anthony Alfredo. Mike Wallace, Kenny Wallace's brother, will be racing the number 66 for MBM Racing.
Got a slight update for that one. That's why it's in red now.
Let's see it.
So just probably maybe about an hour ago or so, it was announced that NASCAR has not approved him to race the Daytona 500. MBM kind of pulled the trigger before they got full approval. They just got word that, oh yeah, it should be all right. But Mike Wallace apparently has not raced enough since 2015 to be considered active in NASCAR. So,
well, that sucks.
So that's why he's still on the graphic, but in our notes he's in red.
Yeah, I got you. Well, dang, that does kind of suck. I was looking forward to seeing him try to duel his way in.
Me too.
Live Fast will be putting the 78 of BJ McLeod out. And of course, you know, the GOAT's got to make an appearance sometime, so the 84 of Jimmy Johnson will be there. Of course, for Legacy. I almost said Hendrick, and I have no idea why.
That was many, many years ago, sir.
That was many, many years ago. And then, of course, we've been talking about Castro Neves all this episode in the 91 of Trackhouse. And who knows, Martin Truex might sneak his way into the MBM ride, or maybe not. Who knows? But he's going to be racing or trying to make his way into it.
Yeah. Rumor has it it's Tricon Garage that'll be putting him in there.
That's what
now that MBM's opened up, maybe we'll flip over.
Who knows?
I'll see about that. A few more weeks.
Only a few, less than a month. I'm excited. Or no, not for the 500. I'm sorry. It's a little over a month. But I don't math so well. Anyway,
what's new?
You ready to go to Race Day Horizon?
So, silly season updates. We got a handful. Starting with Arca. We mentioned her earlier for the Daytona Arca 2-day pre-race practices. Amber Balcaen, something like name is. She has signed to compete a part-time schedule in the Arca Menard Series for Nitro.
Yes, sir. Then, of course, you got JGR, who will be switching out drivers for the number 18, except for Rockingham. Zalwich will be in the 18, and Cruz will be in the 81.
That'll be for Rockingham itself.
Yeah.
2 cars.
But as of all the other ones, Max Reeves will be in 10 races. Brent Cruz will be in 9 races. Zalwich will be in 7. And Gio Ruggio will be in 2 of them in the number 18 car.
Yes, sir. Jumping forward to our truck series. Look at our list has grown quite significantly. The truck series there. That means we're getting closer.
We're getting close to the season. Yep. I'm excited.
So starting off, well, for trucks, we only got really one big update. Would be that Spire has announced we'll be having 4 trucks this. So the 07, which they have not announced the driver for. The 7 will be Corey Day. 71 be Raja Karuth, obviously, and then the 77 has not been announced. Also had Thor Motorsports had a couple of trucks on their website. So the 13 of Jake Garcia were 66 has not been announced yet. The 88 of Matt Crafton, 98 of Ty Majeski, the 99 of Ben Rhodes. They'll have a 5 truck operation.
Yes, sir. Thank you, baby. Moving on to Xfinity. Oh, Joe Gibbs is running Justin Bonzengunor. Oh, Lord. Bonzenur. He will run the 19 for 5 races.
Jumping to junior motorsports. Ross Chastain and SVG be competing in 9 races combined between the two of them. Ross Chastain will be at COTA, Darlington, Nashville, Dover, and Iowa, while SVG will be at the Mexico City race, Chicago, Sonoma, Waukee. See a pattern there.
It's almost like SVGs are all road courses.
Did it all by yourself.
Sam Hunt Racing will run Dean Thompson in the number 26 full time, and Freddie Kraft will be the crew chief.
Yes, sir. And looking forward to Cup. Not really any differences. But if you look closely at that number 41, there'd be a new font.
There do be new font.
And you also see the new JGR logo put on there.
Yeah.
But enough of that stuff. Let's get to the fun part.
Bum, bum, bum.
Got some new paint schemes to talk about.
I like this scheme a lot. I think I messaged you independently about this one. We got Noah Gragson in the Miller Tech number 4. It is just one of my favorite. Like, they use their space pretty well. I'd give it a Fort Lug.
Didn't have that stuff.
Man, you're slacking. You get a brand new board.
That's on a different screen than what I was on. So there you go. I'm gonna agree with the 4 just because it is a nice little thing to look at, but it gives me Interstate Batteries vibe with a purple hand instead of.
I could see that, yeah. I mean, but Interstate always had the lightning stuff going on for it, so
it's always been that way. Well, not always, but for a long time it has.
At least for since 2010, I'll give it. It had the lightning down. But
that's that there for Mr. Noah Gragson in that number 4.
I'm surprised on this next one, without giving it away. I'm surprised it's taken this long to get a scheme of this, considering. Well, not this one. I'm sorry. I was looking at the next driver.
Noah has 2.
I do. Yeah, I completely skipped over Zep. You go ahead and go first on this one. See what you think about it.
I feel like it's his exact color from when he was over at SHR, just with a 4 slapped on the side instead of what did he run, the 10?
Yeah.
But I do like it. They use up the space pretty well. So I'm gonna give it a 3.
I'll agree with your 3. I do like the way they used up some of the space and everything, but like you said, it's basically the same scheme. But anyway, what I was saying about this next one, I'm surprised it's taken us this long to get a scheme from this person, like this company.
Well, we have had a prime scheme in the Cup Series. It's just been quite some time. I don't remember exactly what year it was.
To be fair, though, the first time I read this, I didn't see the scheme. The first time I read this, I thought it was like the drink prime. Yeah. Like Logan Paul's or whatever.
Amazon Prime. Now, if we did see that Prime sponsorship, I would think it would come with Larson.
You think so?
Yeah, he's the one that kind of pushes the Prime a little bit more than the rest of the Hendrick guys.
I don't know. I could. You know who I'd picture driving it? Honestly, that would be either SVG or I could see Larson pushing Prime, but I really see William Byron. That would be the one that I was like, okay, maybe.
I'm just only seeing Larson actually with Prime. But
yeah,
I may have missed the other guys having it.
Well, I'm not saying they've had it. I'm just saying that's going from their personalities. I could see, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
Your turn to go first. What you thinking?
I mean, it's kind of basic, which I mean, Amazon packaging usually is. I like it. I'll give it a 3. It's probably deserves more, but I'm gonna stick with a 3 just because I feel like they could have done a little bit more. Like they could have had like their like prime tape like around the 9 and stuff. But
I'll keep it at your 3. I was gonna give it a 4, but you've talked me down. You know what would have been real funny is if they would have just had a big old cardboard box with the Prime logo in black.
see, I was thinking that, or like that black/blue tape that they use on all their boxes. Like put that on the car or something like that. Like add some life to the car other than just here's this blue rectangle with Prime. You know what I mean? Like I don't know. It's I say this every time we go over schemes. I feel like the people who make the schemes just get lazy.
Yeah.
Because like there's so much fun things you could do with a scheme because you're gonna wrap it every week anyway. And I get reusing schemes, but like let's look at Joey Logano, for example. He has not really changed a scheme in like 4 years. It's generally the same scheme. You know what I mean?
Yeah. He's got a slight variation to it this season, but not a big one.
Very, very slight. I'm pretty sure he's been running the same scheme since he's moved to Penske. But yeah, 3 lugs. It is what it is.
Yep. So this next scheme, I believe was on SHR cars last season, but has now moved over to Spire. Carson Hocevar.
In his minor car. What you got on this one?
I actually kind of dig this one.
I
I'm gonna
do too.
go with 4.
That's where I was gonna put it. I like the colors and everything else that will go with it. So
not too bad of a. I don't know what it is. I'm a Saints fan, so red and black is usually on my hate list. I dislike the Falcons
hey,
very
you're
much.
a Falcons fan.
No, absolutely. But red and black does look good together, except for in a football uniform. Yeah, that was the last new paint scheme we got.
Yes, sir. So you want to do slick schemes, or you got a discussion you want to talk about?
I mean, we don't really have that much time to kill. I would think kind of went over all the rule changes, so there's not really anything big.
No.
I think of to kind of have to talk about there. So I guess we can jump on into like scheme spotlight.
Let's do her tour, homie.
So, Slick Scheme Spotlight is brought to you by Happy Hour Racing. Get the link.
Yes, sir.
In
And
the
if you
description
are
below.
if you are anything like us and you have to have everything NASCAR, including random displays that you got from your local Family Dollar, this is definitely a website for you because you can sit there and you can scroll and they have shirts, they got diecast, hats, keychains, pretty much everything. It is definitely a rough spot in my marriage when I go to this website. I like to spend money.
I'm about to have to talk my wife into letting me get some stuff, so I feel you.
I mean, it really isn't bad. Like, it's not bad priced or anything. It comes really quick, actually. Like, I got it within the week that I ordered it. And like when I first got on their website and stuff, because they're a smaller business, I was expecting like, like, oh, I found this shirt at a thrift store, I'll sell it. You get what I'm saying, or like reprints or something like that. No, like when I got my shirts and stuff, they come with like NASCAR tags and it's official and it's really good. You know what I mean? I haven't had any problems out of this website. But if you go and you find something you can't live without on there and you go to buy it, be sure to use our code RHPD. And you support our podcast, and it doesn't cost anything extra to you. We just get a little sliver off the top, so we can keep on keeping on and, make some cool things for you guys. So,
with that being said, it to be yours turn first to talk about a scheme.
it is mine, and I'm not gonna lie, I almost picked a Casey Kane scheme again today because Casey Kane had some killer schemes, but I did not. I picked a Bobby Labonte when he was in the number 43, and unless you found a better picture, this was the best one I could find that was on track. The rest of them were die cast.
Yeah,
but this car did hit the track.
Same picture.
Yeah. But this is a Talladega race in the April of 2007, right when peak Spider-Man season was on. He was not the only one to run a Spider-Man 3 car. I believe Carl Edwards, no, Casey Kane might have ran one. There was one or two more that were ran that season. But this one was the one that really stood out to me. I legitimately remember seeing this race because of this car. To make Martin feel old, I was 7 years old. Or no, I was 6 years old when this car ran.
I was 2 years out of graduating from high school.
What an old man. I was 6 years old watching NASCAR with my grandmother. And I thought this car was the absolute coolest car ever because it had Spider-Man on it. And it was the 43. I mean, how iconic can you get? It's a 43 with the petty blue and red, and it's got Spider-Man on it. It's like every little boy's dream car right there. But it wasn't that bad, honestly. He started way back in 35th and worked his way all the way up to 20th to finish the race. So not a bad run for the 43 team that day. Of course, how can you go wrong with Bobby Labonte behind the wheel?
Yeah. Pretty iconic driver to top it off.
Yes, sir.
That's another
Speaking
scheme added
drivers.
to our list of growing schemes that we've covered. Somehow we still only have one repeat scheme. Almost at a year mark. Well, no, we haven't been doing SQ.
Well, to be fair, this is the 76th year of NASCAR. There's a lot of schemes you can get in 76 years.
Yeah, we gonna eventually be running out of them.
Well, that's when we'll start having to recycle some.
With the new season coming up, us pulling all these older ones is gonna slow down a little bit because we're both pulling them.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll get back to flip-flopping during the season to where one person pulls a classic scheme and the other one pulls one from the race weekend prior to the podcast.
We might have to branch out and include Xfinity series and trucks and
maybe when we get a little more staff under our belt, do some interns to take over picking schemes.
Right.
Well, anywho's, I picked somebody who we really haven't covered all that much, like Scheme Spotlight.
Which is crazy because you talk about iconic drivers.
Right.
He's one of the most iconic.
Darrell Waltrip, number 35
ODW.
Tabasco car.
I have that whole set on my wall. I love that's one of my favorite Waltrip sets.
So funny thing about this 35 is he actually filled in for somebody at DI. I don't remember the exact name of the driver, but he filled in for him for a handful of races while he was injured and got replaced when he came back and switched over to the 35. But the last 3 races of him filling in for that other car, he finished in 13th. So 3 races in a row, 13th place finish. Well, he switched over to the 35 for this race, and guess where he finished?
13th.
Yeah. So 4 races in a row, he finished in 13th place.
Jeez.
But this car specifically, he actually ran it for 13 races, or no, 15 races. He ran it in 13 of those races. He started all the way back in 43rd place.
Not bad.
Highest finished out of those 15 races, what we just mentioned, was 13th, which was just so happened to be the first time. But then after that, I think his next highest finish was like 20th. Everything else is in the mid to lower 20s. I like hot sauce on a lot of my food, so I figured Tabasco was a good scheme to go with. Plus, double whammy here. Actually, it's only 35 days until Daytona 500. So
that is true. Since I'm pretty sure we've had this car, I could be wrong, but my favorite one of this car is the black and green one.
that was not one that Waltrip ran. That was somebody else.
No, that was hang on, I can tell you. Give me just a second. That was Todd Bodine.
Yep. Sounds right.
Yep, Todd is the original one to run the 35 Tabasco car.
Yep.
And they ran a black and red one, the one that you're seeing now, the orange and green one, and they also ran a black and green one.
Tabasco good.
Tabasco good.
I don't know what it is about me, but I love some spicy food.
I do too.
But anywho's that scheme there. That's it. I don't think we have anything else to cover this thing. We do got merch. I don't have the stuff programmed on the buttons to do fancy things with our merch logos yet, but link is down in the description below. We got Cucumber Cowboy, Joey Lasagna, Fast Pasta, Matt DeBurrito. The only 4 we got right now. We got a few more in the works, but
we also have
hard to find images that we like for them.
Yeah, that's true. We also have our logo. If you want to rep that, they're the ones that are on the flags behind us. You can see his more clearly than you can mine. But you can get those on sweatshirts, shirts, sweatpants, cups, anything you guys want, pretty much, except for hats. Fortunately, we can. The store we have does not do hats. So
yeah, may have something to brewing for that, but I have to see together. I have a place not too far away from me that does hats, like embroidery.
Yeah,
I was thinking about running it by them to see if they could do it, and just do like maybe like 10 hats or so. Yeah, they do
giveaways if we get to go to a race or something.
Yeah,
be cool.
Yeah, cool. Maybe take a hat to a race and get it signed by a bunch of people that away.
Yeah. Like, so if you guys notice, we're both wearing these hats, which we had before we switched companies because the previous company couldn't do something, and then we're running into this one. But both of our hats have quite a few signatures on it. I think mine has 9, and I think yours has 8. I don't know. I don't really remember. Yeah. So, I mean, I've got some pretty cool ones. I really don't wear this hat except for to do the episodes because I'm scared I'm going to ruin it.
Yeah. Well, I don't know what happened, but I got one of my signatures, which is for who was in the 4?
Josh Berry.
Yeah. His is kind of smudged a little bit. Kind of sucks. I don't know how that happened, but
Austin Dillon's is smudged for mine. Let's see here. I've got John Hunter Nemechek's. I've got Kyle Petty's. I've got I can't even read that one. Austin Dillon's, Martin Truex Jr.'s. Josh Berry's. Some of these it's hard to read.
I get it.
But no, we didn't meet Gregson. Who's in the 14 again?
Briscoe.
Chase Briscoe. Yeah, I got his. Let's see which one is that one. Briscoe's on here. I know that because we got it together. I also got McDowell's.
Yeah.
There's Michael
Yeah.
McDowell's.
Priest, McDowell, Alvin Kamara. Is that Nemechek? Josh Berry.
Nemechek put his number on mine.
Yeah. Gilliland, Briscoe. Don't know who that one is down there. Doesn't have a number on it.
But yeah. The only time, like I said, the only time I wear this hat is doing episodes because I want to keep it. I was hoping to get Richard Petty's signature, but the crowd swarmed him, so I felt kind of bad.
On a different note, we're not getting any kickback for this, but Benzig Designs on Etsy has some pretty cool like 3D printed like wall mounts and shelf mount displays, and they look pretty sick.
I know. I'm trying to talk my wife into eventually getting a 3D printer so I can print my own because I have too much stuff. Like
You got way more than I do. Yeah.
Oh man, I
Well,
kind of want.
I got.
I don't want.
I got mostly 124.
See, okay, so you guys can see behind me, all that's NASCAR, okay? And then I'm gonna flip my camera around just so you can see like my wall.
Don't worry, he's a professional camera holder.
Yeah. So it goes all the way up to the roof. And you got that. You got that wall over there. It's not gonna.
I see. For all your 164th that are in the cases there, you could just get those little white strips of.
That's what I'm planning on doing when we move.
Slide them by driver into each one. That way you know which driver
Yeah.
is.
I'll probably honestly do it in numerical order because right now they're in numerical order, but that's not even all of them. Mike, hang on, man. So I have.
While he's going to look for those, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on this video.
So I got all these for Christmas, and then I have like 3 or 4 more bags of like the Walmart ones. I have. Last time I updated my list, which has been like a year, I have 215 164ths in package. I'm probably verging around 300 right now, just in package.
Well, my in package 164th, I have 10, 12.
So I told Haley when I got this, so I kind of showed it earlier, but it's a 5-hour energy display, and it's got like the legacy on top. Hang on.
Too bad that logo's outdated.
Too bad you're outdated. This one's not gonna fit because it's on the base. Dang it! If I took. So, I just grabbed a random 124th that I've got. It's the Kevin Harvick Kaz, but they fit perfectly in this little thing. So I'm trying to talk Haley into letting me get a John Hunter Nemechek and a like I already have that Johnson one, right? But if I could get a John Hunter Nemechek, I could put the Nemechek on the bottom and Johnson up here, and I'd have the whole Legacy Motor Club covered.
Oh, I have Eric Jones up there.
You do have a Jones. I only have a 164th Eric Jones. I don't have any 124s.
Actually, is that Eric Jones or is that?
Would that be? Wait a minute. Are you talking about your throwback? Wasn't that Bubba?
No, it's
No, that is Jones. Yeah, that's a Jones. But yeah. I feel like if I owned a 3D printer, it would pay for itself just in NASCAR like storage.
Yeah. But I'm hoping I can talk my wife into that because I feel like it would make my display back here look a little.
That's what I'm looking forward to when we move, is so I can actually have a display. So right now I've taken over our living room. Like I said, guys, you can see like I've got this right here. Those are 50th anniversary clocks that have Mark Martin on them. I've got 164th trucks. Like as far as haulers, I've got a whole bunch of haulers. I've got, I think if I counted all my cars, I probably have close to 600 cars, including like 124s, 164s. Like actual just die cast, I have like close to 600. It's not including displays, apparently, because, you know, I had to have that. Posters, license plates. For a bonus episode one day, I'll just have to take you through like my favorite things in my collection, because I could sit here and talk about hours on like everything that I have.
Mm-hmm. We're not doing that tonight, though.
No, I'm not doing that tonight. I'm tired. I just got done at the gym. I'm tired.
Well, with that being said, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe on the video. We are sitting at 106 subscribers, but we would love to get closer to that 300 mark.
Yes, sir.
Spread the love for us, please. Free. We're not asking no money of you.
Nope. But I think it's your turn to outro us out.
Well, I had the last Glitch Scheme spotlight.
So, would it be mine?
Yep.
Well, okay. I always get that part confused. I'm sorry. I was sitting here waiting for you to outro us out, and you're waiting on me. Thanks again, guys, for riding shotgun with us on this episode of Race Hail, Praise Dale. Remember, the checker flag might fall, but the excitement never ends. So until next time, keep the pedal to the metal and the passion for racing burning. This is Race Hail, Praise Dale signing off. Catch you in the next turn.